Hi everybody, it's dinner time at Casa Green with Dawson, and tonight we're eating Italian, which we do quite regularly. I'm sure I mentioned before that my husband used to own an Italian restaurant. We had years of fun. It was about 3 years, I think. Our first daughter was born while he was working in the restaurant. She'd sit in a corner, little baby chair, sucking lemons. We thought that was so cute. But when the second child came along, we decided that was enough of the restaurant business. I mean, we had a really great time. We used to have epic New Year's Eve parties. But it was time to have something where Mom and Dad were home together more often. But we have a huge repertoire of Italian recipes that people still request from us and that we still use the original recipes from the restaurant. So tonight, our meal is going to be Caesar salad, pasta putanna, and baguette. So to begin with, we're going to do the Caesar salad dressing. Now I know this may seem like a blasphemy to purists, and trust me, Doug can make a killer Caesar salad the old-fashioned way. I think he used to do it tableside when he worked up in Banff before me. You know, where you mash the garlic into a paste in your wooden bowl and add all the ingredients and toss it up, and it's delicious. But once I discovered this recipe that my good friend Lori gave me, we make this all the time. Part of the benefit, of course, is that it keeps. It'll keep in the fridge for a week or two. It might get a little stronger as it sits in there, but it's delicious. It has all the elements of a Caesar salad. So let's get started. And here's the part where some purists will cringe. But we use a cup of mayonnaise. Any kind you like. Cup of mayonnaise. Half a cup of whipping cream, heavy cream, if not milk. We gotta thin that mayo somehow. I have a clove of chopped garlic. And we're going to add a teaspoon Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of Worcestershire, Worcester, when in doubt. Okay. Juice of, I'm going to put in a lemon, a whole lemon, because I like it quite tart, so it's juice of a lemon. A good squirt of anchovy paste. Anchovy is not my favorite thing either, but it is important in Italian cooking, so I'm going to, and it's just easier to mix up than anchovies, plus it keeps in my fridge for a really long time. So I buy both anchovy paste and tomato paste in these handy tubes. And a little bit of pepper. And that's about it. I'm not going to add salt right now because the anchovy paste is a little salty. Into my lovely little blender. Here we go with... I love this little thing. You really gotta love it. Okay. Make sure everything is mixed together. And there you go. You can put that in a jar in the fridge. We probably use a third of this for a Caesar salad for the two of us. So that'll provide a number of meals worth of salad dressing. Now, what's a Caesar salad without croutons? Sure, you can buy them. But really, when making your own is so simple and so much better, I strongly urge you to do it. Now, I have a little trick with baguette I'm going to teach you. So I met this baker, a lovely French woman at the public market. She made great baguettes, but as you probably know, baguettes do not last overnight. And Doug and I rarely can get through half of one. So she told me, if you have any left over, or say for those 6 of them you're buying off me, wrap them up really well, twice in saran plastic wrap, and put them in the freezer. When you're ready to use them, take them out, thaw them. I've used half of this one to make these croutons, which is so simple. Put them in a bowl, the chopped up bread, add pressed garlic, salt and pepper, and some nice amount of olive oil under the broiler. These are so tasty, you'll just start popping them like chips. And then with the other half of baguette, which I'd like to have with my spaghetti to sop up all my delicious sauce, she said just put it on a rack in a 350-degree oven, but when you put it in, give your oven a good spray of water, and that steam that it creates kind of recreates this baguette. It brings it back to life, and it'll be really tasty with your meal. All right, I'm going to get my water boiling for pasta putanna, and I'll see you shortly. Okay, so now we're going to make pasta putanna. On some menus it's called puttanesca, and they add olives. In our recipe, we don't. And this is by special request for Miss Connie out on the coast, who loved this. When she lived here, she'd phone and say, "Hey, you guys wouldn't be cooking pasta Putanna tonight, would you?" Now, her and Doug liked it nuclear hot. I was a little different. Okay, you're going to put a fair amount of olive oil in a pan and get it really hot, which is really hot right now. I'm thinking that's 3 or 4 tablespoons. In goes your garlic. Now, this is about the only recipe in the world where you want that garlic to go brown, brown, brown. And I mean brown. It's amazing. It adds this nuttiness to the garlic you can't imagine. You don't want it to burn, but you want it really brown. So that's getting there. Now I'm going to add, if you have anchovies, go for it. I do not. I'm adding a good teaspoon or 2 of anchovy paste. It's practically dissolved. And then because Connie isn't here tonight, I'm only going to add about a tablespoon of red peppers. This can be really hot, okay? And you can always add more if you like it hotter, but you can't take it away. Now the other day we made, I'm going to turn that down a bit now. We made this amazing tomato sauce, one of our mother's sauces. That goes in. I'm going to turn that down a bit more. Okay. And then I'm going to let that simmer away. Right? It can simmer on the stove. The longer it does, the more those flavors get together. Keep an eye on it. I would add, even right here, I'm going to add some more olive oil. You want this to be oily. You are going to sop up every single bit off your plate. Okay, pasta. We have a rapidly boiling pot of water, large, salted. Rule of thumb for how much pasta is usually about a quarter a person. No, it looks like a quarter. Doug and I, of course, are seniors and don't eat that much, so I'm going to put in. Well, you know how much pasta you like. My other secret here, if you can find spaghetti number 12, oh, do it. It's just a little bit thicker than your normal spaghetti. And it just adds a nice al dente to the tooth. It shouldn't be mush. It's got to have some texture. All right, I find spaghetti number 12 probably takes about 10 or 12 minutes. In they go. And I'll be back when that pasta is ready to show you how to put it all together. Okay, it's time to put everything together. So my spaghetti number 12 is cooked. It did take about 12 minutes. Like I say, it's just a little bit thicker than your regular pasta. Okay, there we go. Drain that out. Never rinse your pasta. No. Remaining starch on it is what's needed to get the sauce to stick to it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come over here, dump that right into my sauce. And then tongs probably work best for this. And this is something I learned at Doug's Italian restaurant and through reading Marcella Hazan, who sort of brought classic Italian cuisine to America's Julia Child brought French. So there's hardly any pastas that you pour the sauce over. Almost every pasta is finished like this in the pan. Which is another reason it's important that it's al dente or twosome, because it'll cook a little bit more in here. About the only pasta that you just pour the sauce over, the only sauce you just pour over a pasta is bolognese, meat sauce. That's it. Everything else we make, Alfredo, matriciana, everything, finished in the pan. And not only that, you get a really nice hot pasta. I wish you guys could smell this when we used to make this at the restaurant. I quite often would go over and help Doug. And when I was pregnant with Kelly, my second daughter, I'd go over and the aroma of this just killed me because I couldn't eat it. I was having kind of heartburn. And just the smell of it drove me wild. I was just like, oh my gosh. I think we had one customer who used to come, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week for this dish. I find tongs the best for serving spaghetti. We're just gonna finish that. We're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. Oh, and by the way, like Marcella Hazan says in her cookbook, The Essentials of Classic Italian Cuisine, if you're not gonna use the best ingredients, don't make my food. So when you buy Parmesan, please buy real Parmesan. Romano or Reggiano, Gran Padano. I don't know what that stuff is in the craft boxes, but it will not do any favors to this pasta. Okay, and most people think parsley is just a garnish. No, with most pastas, it's actually quite essential. It adds a certain parsley-ness that you'll miss if you don't use it. Okay, there you go. I've got my revived baguette that was in the oven for at 350 for 5 minutes. I'm gonna put my Caesar salad together. Most important thing, the lettuce should be really crisp and cold. So I like to give it a good rinse, wrap it up in paper towel, and then put it in my bowl. Some purists say Caesar salad, you should only use the leaf of the romaine and not the rib. Well, I kind of like the crunchiness of the ribs, so I de-rib some of them and leave the ribs in half. Now all I'm gonna do is add my croutons, some Parmesan, some of those delicious croutons I make. You'll have too many. My beautiful Caesar salad sauce we made earlier. I'm gonna mix that all up. And dinner, my friends, is ready. Mangia!